Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. It is Sat Chat time. I hope you're having a great week. It's been I guess it's been a long week. It's been a weird week. Yesterday morning I woke up and I was just so filled with just like this dread and anxiety and sadness. And I'm like, no, I'm not giving into that. And there's been this cabinet out in the garage that I've wanted to repaint for down here in the studio to store my watercolor palettes. And I'm like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this attitude today. I am taking that cabinet out in the backyard. I am scrubbing it. I am painting it bright, cheerful rainbow colors, and I am going to reorganize my watercolor palettes. And I did that. I took video as I went. I did it on my phone, so hopefully it came out all right. I still have to edit it together, but now I have a bright, cheerful cabinet for my excessive collection of watercolor palettes. But I'll post a video on that. I don't think I can try swinging the camera around. Let me just see. Can I get that in there? Let's see. Can you? Gosh, can't really see it because of the pastel cabinets I have in the way. But there'll be a video on that coming soon, and that's what I did to cope with my anxiety this week, yesterday anyway. Because I don't know how, like I mentioned this before, I don't know how to grieve, because if I sit down, because I've been tired and I just sit down, I don't feel good about that. I feel like I'm wasting my life. You know, I feel like I could drop dead at any minute and this is what I'm doing in my life. You know, I don't feel good about that. That makes me feel worse. So being productive and doing stuff makes me feel better. So I did a couple of pieces of artwork. This one I posted on Wednesday, a real-time tutorial for this bubblegum machine, which is fun. It's not perfect, but it was fun just to kind of get the paints out and paint. And what I've been doing is kind of tackling the review pile, because I have so many things that need to be reviewed. So, and there's so much of that is analytical. It's not like, you don't have to be in the mood to paint to be able to do a lot of that stuff, because a lot of it's just kind of like analytically testing things against other things and seeing how they perform and whatnot. And then usually you kind of you can coax some creativity out after you've just been playing with your materials for a while, and sometimes reorganizing your materials, or you know, decluttering or sorting. Like my mom has been like completely reorganizing and sorting and cleaning her house since Dad passed. So I think it's how we deal with loss in the family, maybe. And then this one right here, I have a time lapse of this carousel horse on YouTube, and I have a real-time version of that in Critique Club. So I've got Critique Club lesson number 1 for August up, and I'm hoping to have the second one up in like next week, so that I don't fall behind with the fine members of Critique Club that pay for the 2 tutorials every month, real-time tutorials. And I think I'm going to do some graphite portraits for the second lesson. So if you are not yet a Critique Club member and you want to be, I will put a link in the video description where you can sign up. It's $7.50 a month, and you have access to all the past tutorials, and there's like over 150 of them, plus monthly creative prompts and all of that, and you can upload your work for feedback from me. So I think it's a really good value for money. We'd love to have you. It's a lot of fun. So you can check that out. And I mean, you've so much to get started with, so many tutorials that you can jump in, and they're all real time if you want that sort of thing, and bunches of different media, because I love to play with different media. I know a lot of you guys do too. So you could definitely find your money's worth in tutorials there. And speaking of other things I have going on, I just a couple days ago sent out the newsletter for the Greece retreat that's going to be May 23rd through the 30th, 2026. So if you would like to come to Greece and paint with me for a week, the location where we're staying is right on it's on Zakynthos Island, and it's right on the beach. I mean, you walk down, it's like kind of up high. It looks like, I've never been to Greece, I can't wait. You just like overlook the sea. And then you walk down like the beach path to go down to the beach if you want to. And there's like a sailing trip that's included. And there's also a trip to Zantietown, which is I think the island capital. So many fun things we're going to be able to do. And I'm so excited about that. So that has it's officially launched to my newsletter. It's officially launched to you guys. I'll be posting it on the social medias over the next few days. And then it goes out to the public on the UpTrek site next week. So gives you a couple days to think about it before it goes out to the general public, if it's something that you want to do. The way that UpTrek works, so when you book the retreat, if it's not a guaranteed retreat, because they have to make sure they have so many people signed up before it's a guaranteed, like it's absolutely going to happen, so they don't charge you right away. But if say it filled up to the minimum amount, then it would become guaranteed. And then if you book a retreat after it says guaranteed, that means you are immediately charged for that retreat. But they don't charge you when a retreat first launches, just in case it doesn't happen, that they don't have to go through a refund and whatnot. But so I just wanted to mention that if you're seriously considering it and you want to grab a spot, they do let you know when they're about 48 hours away from charging the retreat, when they know it's going to be guaranteed, and that gives people a chance to back out, and then they give your spot to somebody on the wait list. So that's kind of how that goes if you're curious. But I will put the email address for UpTrek in the video description. If you have any specific questions, please reach out to them, because they handle all of the booking. I think it's like contact@uptrek.com. There's also a contact button on the sales page if you want to ask them. I would really suggest asking them any logistical questions, just because, you know, I am not the super seasoned, experienced traveler, and they obviously do this every single day, so they can help you with anything that you need. And they also cater to your dietary requirements. I'm vegan, so the retreat in France was so wonderful. They had all like the rich, buttery, typical French food for everybody else, but they were able to accommodate my vegan diet. There were other vegetarians there. They had no problem accommodating different diets, and it was so delicious. And it's just so, you know, it's just nice when your job for the week is just to paint. You know, it's to paint, eat delicious food, get taken around to interesting places. I mean, even working, it's a lot of fun to even be working that, because like my job is just to teach, but somebody's got to feed me, somebody's got to take me where I need to go. I don't have to worry about that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Greece 2026. If you want to join me, link is in the video description. And I hope it fills up. I think that will be really fun. So on a personal note, some really exciting yet terrifying news. I got a call from my son this morning. My son is my oldest. He's 2 years older than the girls. They were a year apart in school. And at the time he graduated during COVID times. And, you know, everything was just up in the air. Very few people were going to college because you didn't want to pay those prices and then have to, take all your classes from home and still pay like living in the dorm prices, or go away to a school and still have to pay living in the dorm prices, but you can't leave your dorm. And it was just such a mess. It was such a mess for that graduation year. And then the year after that, they launched this thing in Maine, which was like free community college. But he didn't know what he wanted to do, and he wanted to work. He didn't want to he was just, I think having COVID be like your last year of school or last 2 years of school it just broke so many kids like wanting to do any sort of further education. But they actually did this program in Maine where it was free community college. So if you went to one of your state's community colleges, not the state universities, but the community college, you could do either your first 2 years, or if you bachelor for free, or you could do a trade for free. So he calls this morning and says he's going to go to school. Of course, he missed that cutoff, so it's going to be, we'll have to pay for that, full price, because he's like 4 years out of high school, not old enough to be considered a independent student. He's still considered to be an dependent, so he can't fill FAFSA on his own behalf. And we filled it out with the girls and found out we didn't qualify for anything. So, so a little terrified at the prospect of having 3 kids in college at once, with no financial aid, but. So that's mildly terrifying. But I mean, I'm happy that he's come to that choice, that decision, although, the timing could have been better. But it's very exciting, also somewhat terrifying, but also, it just is like one of those things where it's like, yeah, the smooth seas do not make the skilled sailor. The tree that grows protected by all the rest of the forest does not grow big and strong. It grows spindly and weak. So I'm just thinking, I am a tree in the middle of a very windy field that is forcing herself to grow strong and thick roots and deep roots and persevere and overcome. So it's just making me want to I'm kind of terrified, kind of anxious, but it's good. It's good overall. So hey, you know what? If you sign up for that Greece retreat, you can feel good knowing that you're helping put 3 kids through college and alleviate a little bit of financial stress. But obviously I don't want to guilt anybody into that. But definitely it just steals my resolve to work harder. And I'm my father's daughter. He would not want me moping around and grieving. He would want me hustling and making sure my kids have good lives and making sure that I don't put myself in the poorhouse. I guess. I don't know. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for him and that opportunity. I want my kids to be more educated than I am, and I have this platform where I can, you know, create more and reach more people and have an impact and get paid to do so. And yeah, I don't want to let that go to waste. You know, so those mornings where you're just like, oh my God, I don't want to get out of bed, or I just do not have it in me. I think having challenges like this, I mean, how first world problem am I to call this a challenge? But having obstacles or things that you have to figure out, expenses you have to come to terms with, just makes you stronger, right? It just makes you work harder. And I'm not afraid of working hard. I'm not afraid of hard work. And yeah, you know, I just wish health insurance wasn't going up at this exact same time. It's just like, my gosh, how much is, I don't want to tempt fate, but how much is going to get piled on right now? Not tempting fate. Not tempting fate. This is a rhetorical question, universe. This is not like me asking for more challenges, because I'm good. I'm good. I'm really not what's the word? I'm really not that strong of a person, so please don't throw any more challenges at me. I've had enough, plenty going on right here. But yeah, but I mean, hey, I'm lucky. I get to do what I love for work, and not many people aren't. I want my kids to be like that. I want them to choose their futures and do what they want to do for work and have the lives that they want to live. And I think it's worth the sacrifice to make sure that they can do that. So yeah, and at least it's not a 4-year program. It's a pretty fast track program. He wants to go for HVAC. So, I mean, I think it's pretty much guaranteed high wage employment once you get out of the program. So that's good. And he knows what he wants, and he's come to these terms by himself. He hasn't been pushed. I don't believe in pushing my kids. I believe that you know, you try to teach them well, but they need to be self-motivated, because if they're not self-motivated, then you're always going to need to be there pushing them. And I don't want to be pushing anybody but myself. I don't want to put pressure on anybody but myself. Put enough pressure on myself. I don't need to be doing that to anybody else. So I'm glad that they're all self-motivated, and yeah, gonna start their lives right. So yeah, what else do I have going on? I filmed a couple sketchbook tours. I finished 3 sketchbooks over. This was the last picture. No, there was one more painting I did actually in the sketchbook, because I had a page in there that had gotten all smudged, and I was kind of feeling like adrift. And I was just like, I just want to play with paint. I just want to splash around some paint. I was working on a review, and I did this loose, well, I can show it to you. I'm not sure if I'm going to post it next week or if I'm going to post it, because I haven't done the September calendar page yet, but I had this blank page across from this church that I painted, and it had gotten smudged with something, and then I wasn't going to use it. But I'm like, oh, it's the only page I haven't filled in this sketchbook. And I built this sketchbook myself. So actually, we did this on the for the French retreat. We made these sketchbooks. We're going to make sketchbooks in the Italy one too. I don't know if we're going to do the same format or a different stitch. I haven't quite decided. I do love this size. I made a bigger one for my plein air sketchbook this summer, and it's a little too cumbersome. Honestly, it takes me forever to do a spread on that. So I don't know if that's going to be a, I'm going somewhere to paint today. I wasn't going to bring that. I was just going to bring a tiny little kit because I'm feeling kind of overwhelmed. And oh, happy Mai Tai Day, by the way. It's Mai Tai Day, and Oriental Jade is having a sale on Mai Tais. So I haven't been plein air painting. This summer I have not done much plein air painting because with Dad being sick and then passing away. Oh my God, beautiful service last weekend. Over 300 people came, maybe 400, because they put out 400 chairs. We used this big conference center to have it in because we figured it would be a good turnout, but somebody at the door that was handing out the programs said they stopped counting at 298 people. That my father impacted so many lives that there were like 400 people that came to see him off and to, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And to say goodbye and share stories, and it was just so touching. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but anyway, I'm gonna cover my face with these paintings, but so I'm not sure when I'm gonna post that, but within the next week or two, I might get the September calendar page done. Oh my word. I do not have time to edit this or start it over because I'm meeting my friend at the Oriental Jade for Mai Tai Day, because we're going to have a Mai Tai, and we're going to have some food, and then we're going to go paint in the botanical gardens to see what is in bloom today because it's at the university. And the kids will be coming back to school next week, so this will be a good time where we can park. We don't have to worry about getting a ticket because it won't be full of like college kids that are like paying to park there. So I think I'm just gonna bring that little fun to bag, which where in the heck did I put that? I don't know, but oh, it's right over there. I think I'm just gonna bring that because I can throw my phone in my wallet right in that bag, and it's tiny. And I also said I would do a little reel of using that, so I'm like, ah, perfect. I'll do that right there with my phone. Oh, my phone has a pro video setting on it, by the way. And so I was gonna like try that when I was painting the anxiety shelf that I did yesterday. But then I was like, well, I can't have one clip be done in like super pro mode from my camera and then have the rest be like the shoddy stuff that you've come to expect. So I think I might actually experiment with that pro mode, because what if I have this like power of cinematography in my pocket and I haven't even like explored it? See, you know, we have so much to learn while we are on this mortal coil. We can try our best every single day and work our hardest, and still there'll be so much more to do and learn and see and find. And I want to find all those things because we do not know how much time we have. We do not know. We don't know if we are going to just, you know, keel over tomorrow. We don't know when the good Lord's going to call us home. So we've got to make every moment count. We got to make every day count. And yeah, I was like, I was sitting on the couch the other day and I was just like, I was watching this really... It's a show, and I have to say, I didn't think I was going to watch many episodes of it because the characters are incredibly insufferable. It's the show Girls on HBO, and it chronicles these four friends that like are graduating college around in their, I don't know, around 2010 or so, 2012 I think is when the show came out. So they're millennials, and I graduated college in '96, so it's amazing how a few years, like 10, 15 years can, you know, just being that much older than these characters can just make them seem so insufferable. But I found the show to be quite charming after a while, and they're about half-hour episodes, so perfect to like eat your lunch, take a quick break, eat lunch, have a cup of tea, and then get back to work. And so, but many times this week I'm finding the episodes lead on to the next episode. You know how like all the streaming services do that, where it's like you're watching one episode and then it like goes on to the next one. And I think we're on episode 3 at this point, I'm not gonna lie. Because everyone's like, oh my gosh, you work so hard. No, I am a lazy person. I am a naturally lazy person who has to fight every fiber of their being constantly to overcome my inherent laziness. And I'm just like, oh my God, I just want to sit here and be a couch potato and watch the show and not actually do anything. And I mean, at that moment, that's all I wanted to do. And I even had a phone in my hand and I was like scrolling, but I'm like, this isn't the life I want to live. I don't want to live this life. I don't want to be this person. I want to be the person that makes things happen, that does things, that has experiences, that lives life to the fullest and doesn't just let it pass them by. And, yeah, I've been really struggling with that. Obviously, I know, I know I'm still in the grief stage, but it's, yeah, I don't feel good. Well, obviously nobody feels good when they're grieving. It's not like, hey, woohoo, got to grieve today. Isn't that awesome? Nobody feels good that they're grieving. But I think dealing with grief that way, being a couch potato, letting life pass me by, is not healthy. It's not good for me. I'm going to go in like 10 minutes. I'm going to go hop in my convertible. I'm going to grab that bag of paint, stick my wallet and my phone in there, grab my keys and go pick up my friend, and we're gonna go to lunch and then we're gonna go paint. And I think that's a really great way to deal with grief. I think it's a better way than sitting on the couch and feeling sorry for myself, because honestly, I don't like it when my brain spirals that way, when I'm like, oh, poor me, I've got to pay for another college tuition. No, it's more like, hey, yay for me that I get to invest in my children's future and get them more educated than I am so they can have better lives than I have, and they can, rule the world. They can be their best. They can live their best lives. They can, I mean, I feel like I've done pretty good for for an associate's degree in communications. That's what I have for an education. I feel like I've done pretty well for myself for that. I mean, now granted, I took art lessons as a kid and I just always tried to better myself, and I'm sure you're doing that too, because you're watching this video and you're thinking about things that you can draw and paint and do and find and discover. You're not sitting there just tatering on the couch. If you're watching this so that you can get like pumped up and to go like win the day, and that's awesome. So instead of like feeling like I have to do this, feeling no, I get to do this. I am fortunate. I have opportunities that other people don't have, and I don't want to squander them by feeling sorry for myself. I was feeling sorry for myself. I was just feeling just like sad and anxious, and I was like looking at my YouTube numbers. They're always down in the summer, but they had taken a little extra hard of a hit where I missed an upload last week, I think. And the one I missed was the one I knew wouldn't do as well as like a Sat Chat or a review, but still, you know, you're not hustling, I wasn't posting on my blog, and granted that might only bring a few more views to a video, but still it brings some, and it's all how you do everything is how you do anything is how you do everything. And if I'm not at least doing that bare minimum of posting that to my blog, of sharing it on social media, of getting up every day and trying to do my best, then, then I don't deserve to excel. I don't deserve to, have what I have. So it's just kind of like a little reminder of, hey, don't feel sorry for yourself. You don't have to do anything. You get to do this, and you're damn lucky that you get to, right? So yeah, that's how I am choosing to reframe my bad attitude and hopefully win the day. I was also kind of like feeling like nobody's going to join Greece. Nobody's going to come to Greece. I'm sad sack. Who wants to paint with me? It's like by then, hell, by Italy, I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be bebopping along and sharing what I can share and making sure people get their money's worth from this trip, and exploring a new country, and just and I won't be worried that something's gonna happen to Dad while I'm gone. I mean, it's happened, right? So yeah, you just gotta reframe your brain sometimes and just show up. That's the thing, you've gotta show up. People are like, wow, Lindsay, I can't believe you posted this week. You're posting so soon again. But it's like, you gotta show up. What's the alternative? Just curl up in a ball and feel sorry for yourself? That's not how I wanna live my life. I hope that's not how you want to live your life. I hope that regardless of your circumstances, that you are showing up and you're doing your best, and everybody's best is going to look different. Somebody's best is going to be, getting up out of bed and getting dressed and, sitting in their chair, maybe even like doing some stretches. We start where we are, right? We start where we are, and then we go on from there, right? Everybody has a different starting point. I've had a very fortunate life, and I'm very lucky for it. I'm certainly not going to squander it. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I hope that you'll consider joining me for an art retreat in Greece. Obviously, no pressure. I'm going to keep bringing you online classes and free YouTube videos, and as long as I can, as long as I can, haul my butt out of bed every day and keep on creating, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And, I was just, as I was reorganizing my watercolor palettes last night, so this project, I got back from walking the dog. It was probably around 9:30. I went in the garage. The dog was out back. She likes to hang out in the backyard when it's nice out and it wasn't too hot. I went in that garage. I picked up that grimy. Actually, I had to clean off the grimy old cart because my husband had a bunch of stuff sitting on top of it. Because if there's a flat surface anywhere, people pile crap on it. So I got a crate out of the room of hoard, and I had an empty crate. So that means I've been doing some decluttering, I guess. And I put everything in that crate, just put that on a shelf. That's his stuff. He can put it where he wants to put it. I hauled it outside, took the hose out, I sprayed that sucker down, got a bucket of hot soapy water, scrubbed her down, rinsed it off, toweled it off, because I'm like, I don't really want to have this really old wooden thing with water sitting on it any longer than it has to, because it's warped anyway. I mean, this is not a pristine thing, so anything I was going to do to it was going to be an improvement. And I can't remember if we paid $5 for it, or if I got it for free and it had a $5 piece of masking tape on it because it was at the end of a yard sale. I can't remember, but it was either $5 or free. So it didn't owe us anything. Anything I was going to do to that was going to be a upgrade, and so washed it, let it dry out really good, painted it, let it dry out really good, put another coat of paint on it, brought it down here, realized all the drawers stuck because I had like paint, there was some globs of paint, so I scraped it all down, waxed everything, reorganized everything. I'm like, if I didn't buy another single tube of paint in my life, watercolor that is, I have a lifetime supply of watercolors. So I'm like, I think the goal should be to use up my watercolors while I am alive. And I think that's like, if I live as long as my watercolor stash lasts me, I think I'm basically immortal, or I'll be like Methuselah or something. I don't know. It's like, I'm like, this is crazy. This is insane. This collection of mine, but you know, that could be a good goal. My goal could be to use up the paint in my lifetime. And yeah, because I mean, stuff's gonna come in because I love reviewing products, especially new things. And if I get a chance to like review something, a brand reaches out and say, hey, you want to review this? If I say yes, then I want to review it. I want to show you if it's worth your money or not. If it's not, and you know, I get the dopamine hit putting something in my cart, whether I check out or not. Sometimes it's a dopamine hit to see somebody try a new supply. And then if it's not very good, then it can be like, phew, I didn't have to spend my $20 on that. I don't know. It's funny though, because it's like the new quirky, weird supplies are the ones that people want to see. The classic, you know, expensive legacy stuff, people don't really care about that much, probably because other people have used it for longer. They know about it. They know it's good. So maybe that's why people like to see a train wreck. Maybe, I don't know. Well, this Sat Chat ought to be very popular then, because we got a little train wrecky there for a while, but I persevered. Didn't have to edit, because I didn't have time to edit. But, you know, hey, we're doing our best. We're all here doing our best on this mortal coil. I hope you are. I hope you're having a good day. I hope this brought a little cheer to your life. I hope I didn't bum you out. Oh, I don't want to bum people out. If that's, you know, my one purpose in life, it's to make people feel better and be happy and create and be inspired and empowered. And I hope I have given that to you today. Hope I give that to my kids. Hope I give that to my community. Yeah, I mean, we just wake up, do our best, and hopefully make an impact while we're here, right? I really don't have anything else today. I don't think, yeah, oh, one thing I wanted to mention, Paul Rubens is having their anniversary sale. They are putting everything like 20% off or something on Amazon. I'll put a link to their shop in the video description. There's different bargains and deals going on. I'm not sure if it's going on their sister sites, Lightwish and Ardex as well. But Paul Rubens, if you've been having your eye on some paint and you want to pick up a set, they're putting everything on sale through the 25th, I believe. So I'll have everything in the video description. Link to the Grease Retreat, link to Critique Club, link to the Paul Rubens sale. I'll probably have to watch this back and add links as we go, because I'm sure I'm going to forget half of this because it's been an emotional 28 minutes here. But I'm going to go meet a friend for lunch. I really need that today. And I hope that you do something good for yourself today and spend time with your loved ones and create something and just live the life you want to live. That's what we owe ourselves. That's what we owe the universe. That's what we owe the fact that we, out of the billions of chances of sperm meeting egg and us coming into existence, how crazy lucky is it that we are even alive? What we owe that miracle is that we live the lives that we want to live, and we are good humans. Okay, I'm going to leave it on that. Have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.